The views expressed are not necessarily those of KSCJ and Powell Broadcasting Company. This program is not intended to replace the advice of doctors or other clinical providers. Consult with your practitioner to ensure the proper course of action for you.
Welcome to When Things Aren't Going Well on AM 1360, FM 94.9 KSCJ. This program is dedicated to your mental health wellness and brought to you by Family Services, a United Way partner agency. Here's your host, Art Silva.
Good morning, Siouxland, and welcome to When Things Aren't Going Well. This show is all about your mental wellness and how you can help yourself navigate the daily highway of life. We hope to educate and motivate you to improve your mental wellness environment. I'm Art Silva, and our show is brought to you by Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, serving the Siouxland community since 1894. Let me introduce my co-host, Brenda Geisinger, the Chief Operating Officer of Boys and Girls Home and Family Services. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
Good. How you living?
I'm doing great.
Okay, sounds good. As you know, we're dedicating 2023 to families and the stress they are facing daily. Today we're going to discuss the Breathe Yoga Studio as an option. So, Brenda, would you please introduce our guest?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had with us before and with us again today is Lisa Corbett and Joanne King. They are yogis, and we are very happy to have them a part of our agency. They facilitate and run our yoga studio, and it is called Breathe. Lisa, would you want to add something to that and kind of describe what is Breathe?
Yes, I'd be happy to. Thanks for having us. Well, Breathe Yoga and Meditation Center is located within the Boys and Girls Home and Family Services campus, and we really feel like it's a sanctuary. It's a safe place to come and practice yoga, practice meditation, and just be part of a beautiful community.
I know when I've walked into the studio, it's like this, kind of moment. You know, when you have a cup of coffee, it's like, woo, yay, let's go. And then when you walk past the studio, it's like just this calmness that overwhelms you. Is very invigorating, but yet calming. It's a beautiful space.
Yes, and some of it has to do with our olfactory senses. We do lavender, and if we want something more invigorating, we'll use the peppermint oils. But they're all natural, but there's a lot to be said about just the benefits of the meditation and our olfactory, our sense of smell. So that kind of grabs you right away and gives you a great feeling.
Well, Lisa, you got that real calming voice. So I'm sitting here right now, kind of, what pose do I get myself into right here? But you know, it's all part of that. Joanne, we've talked about this a long time ago, and this has now come to fruition. And you guys are going to your second year of Breathe Yoga Studio. So let's hear about you, Joanne.
You know what? I think just my personal story is why I come to yoga, because I feel like yoga is. I had a depression a long time, and that is just really impact of my behavior. That I really low self-esteem, and yoga and meditation helped me to increase about my mindfulness, about me, about the inner strength, and my body physical as well. So that's why my desire, and then I meet with Mr. Art, and I would love to, whatever that I receive, whatever that I know it works, and I thinking that, well, why don't we just have a studio and helping the community with all ages that can achieve about the inner strength.
Well, I'm really proud of the both of you. They are both yoga instructors, new yoga instructors, so they bring with it a nice attitude, and don't worry about those strenuous poses. It's not that. You get into what you can handle, and as Joanne touched on, our yoga combines meditation. And there's an awful lot of stress out there in the world. And a lot of people just don't know how to meditate, how to learn and go on your own and just sit there and kind of like find your spot. Everybody has to have a spot they go to when things get tough. And yoga has really been instrumental. Okay, Lisa, let's talk about your involvement and what you've seen with the classes. How have they formed? What are you seeing as energy in the classes?
Yes, well, now we have 3 classes, as you mentioned, and things are going well. We've had great response. I'm thinking of one gentleman in particular who shared with us. He's just been doing yoga with us for about 6 months, and he said, I'm less agitated, in traffic and other situations, just daily, the ins and outs. And he said, no, really, I approach things differently. And he just said that yoga has really changed how he approaches things and just how he deals with things. And I think we hear that a lot in our classes. People will say things like, oh, we just really needed to be here today. It's sometimes people have experienced losses with spouses or family members. And we really feel like it's a supportive community, too, where we all get to know each other a little and just, really check in with each other.
That sounds great. Hey, I'm at Silva along with Brenda Geisinger and our guests from Breathe Yoga, Joanne Keene and Lisa Corbett. And we're talking about back to school with yoga. We've been trying for a long time to get adolescent children into the program. As you just mentioned, Lisa, if you're having a bad day and you got your yoga class that day, you will find your space. We've seen it happen. So, folks, if you're really getting stressed out there, give yoga a try. It's not all that physical stuff. There's a lot of meditation here, and it teaches you how to go out and be your own instructor. How do you deal with your body, your moods when things change? What are some of the coping ideas where you can find that mindfulness? We've had a steady group of people. I've seen you grow your classes. The numbers keep growing, and we're taking we have open enrollment right now. Tell me about the cost. Is it going to cost me a fortune to be in this class?
Our classes is wonderful, and the people enthusiastic coming every day because they realize us the benefit of not only like the stress the body, going to the peace space and the peace, and after the long working hours, but also meditation, mindfulness would enhance the intention. So that's all of that, Our class, like I said before, I believe in yoga, I believe in mindfulness, I believe in self-awareness. They're just like free will donation. So they just come and free will whatever you have, but the enthusiasm, they pay. Some people drop it in, pay for someone cannot afford it too. So we all have a benefit. Everybody can do yoga.
We did not want to let cost be an obstacle to people in the course. And so don't worry about that. It's a free will donation. We started that, and we've kept it. It's working well. It's not a profit deal. It's break even, but provide the service that we can have in here. And so we really want to tap this more, particularly with our youth. But ladies at home, if you want to come into a yoga class, find something to do, make some new friends. It's one thing I find with yoga people, they're awfully friendly.
They are.
I wonder if they have yoga in New York, because they're not too friendly in New York. But you guys do a great job with your folks. Let me ask you on this. If give me a yoga story that you might have had that was a great experience, someone you saw the aha light come on in them. Can you share one of those?
Yes. I think thinking of one person in particular who just mentioned, gosh, did you see me get into this pose today? I almost got all the way to a perfect pose. And yes, I think people see an improvement every time they come to yoga. It isn't a competitive thing. It's, you come to your mat, it's your practice, and you just try to do a little bit better each day, see a little bit of improvement. And I think people find it very rewarding. And, back to the meditation, I think that's such a key component that we start every class with a meditation. And it really just sets the tone for the class. And, there's so many benefits for ourselves by learning how to meditate and just taking it in small increments. But what's also wonderful is it's a gift to others, because if we're, sitting down to lunch with a friend and they're sharing their good day or their bad day, and, it really trains the brain to focus on what you're saying, not thinking about, well, what do I want to interject in this conversation, but really just listening to them. And then at the end of the conversation, a lot of times, maybe they'll say, thank you, I feel heard today, or thanks for listening to me. And so it's not only a gift to ourselves and our, mental wellness and general health, but it's also a gift to others too that we can bring to them.
Well, we're coming up on our break, so continue your early morning chill and keep your ears right here. We'll be right back with more When Things Aren't Going Well here on 1360 AM, 90.9 FM, KSCJ.
Let's face it, that happens to all of us. However, the pandemic has compounded all of our lives and activities. Even the simplest tasks seem harder. Hi, I'm Brenda Geisinger, the Chief Operating Officer at the Boys and Girls Home and Family Services. Family Services is a United Way partner agency serving children and families of our community, and we're here to help. If you'd like to learn more about Family Services, please contact us via email, website, Facebook, or phone Mary Pickens. At Family Services, we change lives.
Welcome back to When Things Aren't Going Well on KSCJ. Here's Art Silva.
Welcome back to When Things Aren't Going Well. I'm Art Silva along with Brenda Geisinger, and our guests today, Lisa Corbett and Joanne Keene from Breathe Yoga Studio. The Breathe Yoga Studio is located in the new Family Services building on the new Ginny Peterson Behavioral Health Campus. Classes are held on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I'll let the ladies talk more about that, but before we get there, let me ask my chief clinical person here who tells me, it kind of sorts my day out. She's wonderful, and that's Brenda. Brenda, yoga in our business, where do you see the benefit of yoga?
I think it's one of those things you can learn and practice in your home, even when you're in your car or shopping, that breathing technique, that, meditation. So you remember to be present. Like Lisa said, it's this way to live your life and connect with people. And so when you learn those skills and learn how to be aware, and when you're doing yoga, learning your body and connecting with that in your mind, it's phenomenal. And so to teach others how to do that, and, it can start at any age. We would love to have high school students and junior high students come and learn how to incorporate that. So when they're involved in athletics, they know, I can move my body this way and be more agile and mobile about it. And also connecting. And then if they're in school and sitting and taking a test and they have that anxiety, remembering, calm that breath down, connect so you can think and be focused. All those little things are true benefits of yoga and meditating. And so it really helps the youth knowing how to de-stress and deal with their anxiety. As a mom, we all look forward to that school bus and that first day of school.
National holiday used to be in my house.
But when you get into the rush of making that breakfast and getting that lunch ready and getting the kids out the door, yoga could really help, parents and the moms and the dads just decompress about all of that. So it's, like we said, on 3 days a week. And just knowing that you can come, right at the end of your workday and during Saturday and just learn how to reconnect. And if you can only make it one time a week, every bit helps. So that's, kind of in a nutshell, real brief in all my wisdom.
Wait, I get your point because you take something with you. This is something that you participate in. If you don't make the class, you still know what you can do, as Brenda said, on the breathing techniques. This stuff works. I got to tell you, you kind of look at it and say, there's not that much you have to do to get yourself calmed down. There's not that much that you have to do to find your inner strength if you know where to go. So, Joanne, I know that a lot of times we've talked about this. Okay, Joanne, you're having a bad day, okay? Which is very seldom.
I always see her with a smile.
I'm working my imagination here. But you're having a bad day. What do you do?
When I have a bad day, is the first thing that I do, and I know, because I know that works for me, is sit down and quiet my mind, go into within and find the beauty, validate myself, listen to my whole self, and just only for 5 or 10 minutes. And that's good. But if my body is not that good that day, I would sit down, just do some simple stretch that I have learned, and that works. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, we talked about, people cutting you off and you're driving and stuff like that. And I think you mentioned one of your clients that you can handle this better now. And there's a lot of stuff going on in the world today. And if we at adults sometimes show a short fuse, Can you imagine what we're saying to our children? So I really think, I don't think we use all of our mind. Science is looking at that, but this yoga will expand your consciousness. You will be more aware of what's around you. Sometimes you walk through in a little brain fog and you really don't notice things. Like Joanne said, you start to appreciate the things you start to take for granted. I've talked about reconnecting. I talked about the art of communication, tying this all back in. It won't happen until you're centered yourself, that you can go off and touch somebody else and say, let me share this with you. So I really think we have a message here. There's no cost involved. It's a free will donation. The studio is brand new and spectacular. I got to compliment you ladies on how well you integrate the lighting, the music, the aroma. The equipment's all new, cleaned. It's very sanitary. I'm saying, how come people aren't doing this thing? And you know what? We do have people doing it. A very select group, a very loyal group, would like to grow it. So we are accepting new folks into our classes. You can simply give Mary a call at 293-4919. That's Mary Pickens, and she'll get you lined up with the ladies, and they'll tell you their classes are. We run 3 classes. Give me your class time.
Well, classes are Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. and then Saturday morning at 9 a.m. So one thing I would like to add to another benefit to the yoga, and great for children, students that are feeling stressed, is it really enhances sleep. It helps, especially if you do that 5:30 class or something in the evening, it really does help you be able to rest very well that night. And that's when our brains, rest and restore. So sleep is so important. So that's just another benefit of yoga. And yeah, the studio is beautiful. Thank you to Delta Dental for that wonderful grant, because the studio is beautiful. The equipment, all you have to do is bring yourself, bring your open mind, and we have everything that you need.
Well, you mentioned the grant we got from Delta Dental a couple of years ago. We certainly thank them. But they were looking for something innovative. And we brought in yoga, and they loved the idea of yoga. So that's why they sponsored it. So I think it's just getting the word out. There's a lot of yoga going on in town. We have instructors and stuff, and they do a great job. We're just saying that we have openings right now in a beautiful studio. We have 2 great instructors, and you never know which one you're going to get on any day. They kind of rotate. So, it's really a nice mix. But I'll tell you, the combination of the lighting, the aroma, the music, it's just, boy, you walk out of there calm. It's a calming influence when you walk in. So you've put together a recipe for success, and I'm sure the loyal people that keep coming back and coming back and coming back appreciate it. Now we want to share that with the rest of the community. So it's Breathe Yoga. It's Lisa Corbett and Joanne Keene are our instructors. If you'd like to have us come out and talk with your group about yoga, give Mary a call, Mary Pickens at 293-4919. A lot of pro teams have yoga. People, but they have yoga and some have ballet. But a lot of teams are looking at this because it does work. It puts you, I remember one athlete saying that yoga made his court smaller. He could see more. Everything just kind of shrank down to a single focus. And that was yoga, because it got rid of all the things in there that are blocking that. So there's a large future here for yoga. We like to get youth involved because they'll continue on. Okay, let's say a mom just has a baby. Would you guys let the baby come into the class and while the mom does the Lisa, Joanne?
We are welcome. They are welcome. They are welcome all too. Come in maybe with the music, soft music smells so good, and soft, blanket for me. Make them sleep.
We might have a new business here. Bring your kid to go to sleep. We come here and put them to sleep and then take them home and put them in bed. But no, it is very, very calming. We just like to make sure people know that we have this program out there, and we encourage you really to come out and give it a try. Bring a friend. If you know somebody next door, you got a next door neighbor. A lot of things always work better when you bring a friend. You kind of like go off of each other, and you share the good experience, and you kind of learn your limitations. But this is not a class where you're going to go home sore. You do what you can do, and the instructors will monitor that and look for that little bit of improvement every time you come to class. But I think the real improvement is in the attitude. It's the attitude that counts, and I would do it for your for your mental health exercise, look at yoga. So, ladies, I'm going to give you one more time to give me your thoughts and tell the audience how they can get into your class.
Well, very easily. Just come to the new campus of Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, and we'll greet you at the door. And make you feel, just show up, and we'll make sure that you feel comfortable and welcomed there, and we'll help you find the joys of yoga.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, we're going to talk a little later on maybe on music and mental health, because I think your class incorporates that calming music. So there's a lot to talk about, ladies, but I really thank you. We're coming up to the end of our show, and each week we end our show with a joke. Humor is medicine for the soul. So here's our weekly joke. What does an ambulance and yoga class have in common? They both contain stretchers. Thanks, Brenda, Joanne, Lisa, and thanks also to our listening audience. Shout out 2023 is dedicated to families, and this week we celebrate the Dick and Pat Collins family. Longtime community volunteers and always willing to help. Just doggone good people. So we're celebrating Dick and Pat Collins family this week on When Things Aren't Going Well. Don't forget to visit our new and improved Stuff store. New stuff arriving daily. Stuff is located in the former Indian Hill Shopping Plaza, the new home of the Ginny Peterson Behavior Health Campus. Boys and Girls Home and Family Services is now hiring therapists. Call our HR manager at 293-4700. When Things Aren't Going Well, we'll return next Saturday morning at 7 a.m. right here on 1360 AM, 90.9 FM, KSCJ. Your homework this week is to go out and have a good laugh. Remember, be kind to your mind. Peace.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
For more information on the services provided by Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, see them online at boysandgirlshomeiowa.org. Or you can call 712-293-4700 to get more information about family services, residential treatment, the Opportunity School, the Siouxland Family Center, and more. At Boys and Girls Home and Family Services, we change lives. We change lives. We change lives.